faut former les phrases avec les prépositions a, on et don. Good day all. Today we are going to learn the preposition. And what are we learning in preposition? We are going to learn how to form phrases with preposition on and a and don. Former les phrases avec a, on and don. Alright, so that is what we're going to talk about today. Former les phrases avec a, on and don. Okay, so before we start, we need to actually know the meaning of preposition. Preposition actually is a word that shows a relationship between two objects. And when we are talking about a means what? When we are talking about a means a can actually mean two, and it can mean at, and it can also mean in. So a can mean two, it can mean at, and it can also mean in. So now we're going to talk about where the places. D'accord. Alors, premièrement, comment on s'utilise a? A s'utilise pour parler. A s'utilise pour parler. A s'utilise pour parler. Then lieu précis. Parler de, number one, numéro un lieu précis. Numéro 2, une destination. Pour parler d'une destination, on utilise ça. Pour parler d'une destination, on utilise a. Et numéro 3, pour parler d'une haie, on utilise a. Okay, so in a nutshell, what I've been trying to say is this. What do we use a for? We use a, as you can see, to talk about, parler, that is to speak about or to talk about. Un lieu précis. What do we mean by un lieu précis? Un lieu précis, that is the number one you're saying here. It means a particular place. So you can use your a, which is two. I already told you that a can mean two. A can also mean at, and your a can also mean in. You understand? I already told you that. Your a can mean two, your a can mean at, your a can mean in. And now, what do we use a for? How do we use a to speak? We use a to talk about. That is parler. Parler means to talk about. This parler that you're looking at, it means to talk about. So we can use it to talk about a precise place, a particular place. That is un lieu précis. Un lieu précis, a particular place. Un lieu précis. And we can also use it to talk about a destination. That means where we are going. Where we are going, that is a destination. When you are going to a place, and that place you're going to is not a country but a town or a neighborhood. So talking about une destination, I'm still going to break that one down when we get there. Now we can use it to talk about time. Une, that is time. So those are the uses of our ah. Okay, let me clean this part of the board now. Let me clean the board and pick each and every each one, and give examples of how you can use your ah. For number one, we talked about en lieu précis. En lieu précis. So let me quickly talk. Je vais à Lagos. I'm going to Lagos. Je vais à Lagos. I'm going to Lagos. So that is a town or a city. Do you understand? Je vais à Lagos. That is a town or a city. Je vais à Aba. Je vais à Paris. Je vais à Paris. Okay. I'm still on town or city. You can use it for small towns like je vais à Bori. Je vais à Bori. Don't forget that when you are using your ha, always look at this accent on it. Please don't forget it. It's very important to put your accent. So always make sure you keep this your accent. Don't forget that accent, because without putting this your accent on your R, is going to be like you're just say I'm going half Bori. This R without an accent means half, to have something, as. So he has or she has. So but once you put this accent on it, and it's going to make people to know that actually what you're saying is that you're going to a particular place. So whenever you are writing in orthography, is very essential for you to do that. Okay, now I talking about I told you about town or about city. Yes, I've given you examples of that. Now let me also give you example of places. So we can now say je vais à l'école. I'm going to school. Je vais à l'école. I'm going to school. You can talk about somebody. Abu va à l'hôpital. Abu va à l'hôpital. That is, Abu is going to church. Abu is going to the hospital. Sorry. Abu is going to the hospital. Abu va à l'hôpital. You can say that Alice va à l'église. Alice va à l'église. That is, Alice is going to church. And we can also there are list of places also. So look at it here. So we can also say nous sommes à la station. Nous sommes à la station. That is, we are at the filling station. We are at the filling station. All right. that is talking about places. That is talking about places. I told you that pour parler d'un lieu précis, pour parler d'une destination, is where maybe you are going to a city, no, a town, un lieu précis, maybe you are going to a place. All these ones like this, à la station, they are precise place, a particular place that you are going. Where are you going? When somebody asks you, I'm going to school. Je vais à l'école. The school is the particular place that you are heading to or that you are coming from. So you can actually use your ha to talk about the particular place that you are coming for or the particular place that you are heading to. All right. Also, the next one, we want to use our "a" to talk about time. We can use our "a" to talk about time. So let me quickly give you examples of how to do that. We can letter nouvelle. That means something is going to take place at 9 a.m. A letter nouvelle. Make sure that when you are talking about your time, you have to give respect to time in French, because time in French is normally measured within 24 hours and not in 12 hours. So always make sure that your time in French is corresponding. So a letter nouvelle, that means it's going to be is at 9 a.m. But if you want to say that it's at night, you understand? So always know that you are going to respect 24 hours. So that is 12 plus 9 will be 21. So, and that will give you il ta 21 heures. Il est à 21 heures. So that will be il est à 21 heures. So that will be is at 9 p.m. It's at 9 p.m. So somebody may ask you the time for the train or the time for your flight to leave, and you may want to say it's happening at this particular time. So when you are talking about a particular time that something is happening, then that is where you use your ha. So a particular time that something is happening, you may use your a at that time to talk about that particular time that something is happening. Then you add the numbers, then you finish up with your a. So that is the word order. All right. Then the next one we want to talk about on now. On. Comment on utilise on? On utilise on avec les pays féminins. Do. On utilise on avec les moyens de transport. Les moyens de transport. Ça c'est do. On utilise on avec do. Les moyens de transport. Les moyens de transport. Les moyens de transport. Et numéro 3, on utilise on avec les mois. Les mois. Now, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say here is that how can we use our on? How can we use our on? And we use on to talk about countries and what type of countries. We use on to talk about feminine countries, les pays féminins. You know, I once talked about gender in a certain video like that. I once talked about gender, that gender is not limited to male or female as it goes in English language, but gender in French language, every name must have a gender. That means every noun must have a gender. So we have countries that are regarded as feminine countries, and we have countries that are regarded as masculine countries. Okay, so let's talk about the countries that we use on for. These are the countries that are regarded as feminine countries, les pays féminins. Okay, now we also use on for les moyens de transport. That is number 2. This number 2 you're looking at here is les moyens de transport. That is means of transportation. You use your with your means of transportation. Now, number 3, that is very, very important. We use on with month. We use on with month. Okay, now let me give examples on that. Let me give examples on how we use our on. So let me quickly give 1 or 2 examples so that at least we will be able to understand better. For example, when we're talking about using on for les pays, you know, the canoe that they paddle on a river. So pirogue means canoe. So let me bring examples of this so that we will know how to use our on with means of transportation. So let me wipe this board. As I wipe the board, then I'm going to bring my examples now. So I can say that Antoinette, that is Antoinette, voyage, Antoinette voyage à Lagos en train. Antoinette voyage. Okay, we have train moving to Aba now. Okay, let me say Antoinette voyage à Aba en train. That means Antoinette travels to Aba using the train, by train. Antoinette travels to Aba by train. All right, we can also say that at the board, the following means of transportation, they are means of transportation that you use on with. It's not all means of transportation you use on with. For example, bateau, that is boat, you don't use on with boat, that is bateau. You don't use on with moto, so you don't use on with your foot, that is PA. So these are the means of transportation, les moyens de transport, so in which you use on with. Les moyens de transport avec on. Les moyens de transport avec on. So I'm going to list them here for you now. So number 1, you can use your horn with train, le train. You can use your horn with pirogue. Sorry about that. You can use your hand with pirogue. Okay. Number 3, you can use your hand with avion. You can use your horn together with number 4, which is voiture. Voiture means car. I told you before that avion means airplane, voiture means car, pirogue means canoe, train means train. Okay, and number 5, you can use your horn with taxi. So always remember that your on are used with these videos, are used with these words: means of transportation, tram, pirogue, avion, vessel, taxi. I don't know how you are going to remember, but always know. Hi, there is a way that I remember. What I use is T. What I use is capital letter T for tram. I use A for avion. That is in those days when I was learning my French. I use P for pirogue. So, and I make it tapi. So I will know that T stands for train, A stands for avion, P stands for pirogue, and I now say tapivota. So tapivota, VO stands for vessel, and TA stands for taxi. A for avion, T for train, my A for avion, then P for pirogue, then VO for vessel, then TA for taxi. So this my T here is for train, my A is for avion, that is aeroplane, my P is for pirogue, and my PI is for pirogue, my VO is for vessel, and my TA is for taxi. And that is how I get to get my tapivota. So that is the mnemonics that I normally use. So for you, you can look for what works for you also. All right. Then the last one now, the last but not the least that I'm going to talk about now, so that we can round up the lesson for today, is using on with months. I told you. So now your on, you can also use them together with les mois, and les mois means months. So now let's look at the list for our months. So the list for our months, what are the months? Les mois means the months in a year, the months. So always know that you are using your on together with months also. So now I'm going to give you the list of our months. So know that any one out of this month, what you use with them is on. So I'm starting now. Janvier, that is January. Février, sorry about that. Okay, so janvier means January. Février, this is the list of our months. Okay, Mars, okay, that is March. Avril, that is April. May, that is May. June, that is June. Juillet, that is July. Août, that is August. Those of us that are still struggling with months, Août, that is August. And we have September. We have September. We have October. Then we have November. And the last one is December. The last one is what? December. That is December. So your Janvier is January. Your Janvier means what? January. February, March, April, May, June, July, Août, August, and September, that is September, October, that is October, November, that is November, and December, that is December. All these, what you use is on. So don't forget to use your on. On Janvier, that is in January, on February, in February, on Mars, in March, on April, in April, on May, in May, on June, in June, on July, in July, on Août, in August, on September, in September, on September, in September, on October, in October, on November, in November, on December, in December. Okay, so with that, you will be able to know that when you see a question just like this, let me give you an example of this particular question. When you see a question just like this, for those of us that are preparing for our international examinations, maybe DELF examination or TEF examination, when you see something like this, how would you respond if you see something like this? If you see something like Josh N.A. Josh N.A. dash Hoot. Josh N.A. dash Hoot. Now, Josh N.A. dash Hoot. And you see A, Hoot, B, Hoot, C, Hoot, and D, Hoot. So, what is the answer? So, whereby we see O is not the answer. You cannot use O together with month. That is wrong. We cannot use O with month. We cannot use A with month. We cannot use Do with on. So A, O, A, all these ones are wrong. The right one is on. You use only your on, EN on, together with your month. Do you understand? So always be something is inside another, is in another. So whereby you see DANS, that is done, and you use it in the form of in. So you can say that Leo Edon Lubute, Leo Edon Labute, Leo Edon Labute. That means the water is in the bottle. L'eau est dans la bouteille. That means the water is in the bottle. Let me write my la well here. The water is in the bottle. L'eau est dans la bouteille. The water is in the bottle. All right. With that, you should know that the main reason we are using don is for us to talk about in. So that is a simple explanation of don. So once you know that something, you can even say that for example, you can say mon stylo est dans mon sac. My pen is in my pen is in my bag. My pen is in my bag. So mon stylo est dans mon sac. Mon stylo est dans mon sac. Mon stylo est dans mon sac. My pen is in my bag. In a specific place. So that is in. So you can use don. So, but don't forget that, for example, when you're talking about the teacher in the classroom, you have to use on. So even if you say Monsilo Edon Monsac, you cannot use on. You cannot use don with the teacher, with class. What you use is on class, in class. So for you to say in class, you say on class. But any other thing, you use don. So for any other thing, for example, now let me give you 2 questions, then we round up the class for today. So question number 1, yes, are you ready? Let's go to a prayer. All right, let's take question number 1. Voilà. Le professeur est dash class. Le professeur est dash class. Is it A, don, B, A, C, on, D, that is D, ho. Now, what is the correct answer? Le professeur est dash class. The teacher. Le professeur means teacher. So when we are talking about le professeur est dash class, let me write it well so that for those of us that are finding it difficult to form our words, it isn't easy learning a second language, All right. Le professeur. I want to write it well. Le professeur est, okay, I think this is better, right? Le professeur est dash class. Now, is it don class, B, a class, C, on class, or D, o class? First of all, we cannot say le professeur est don class, because anything talking about someone in somewhere in the classroom, you are not going to use don. Do you understand? Talking of someone in the classroom, you are not going to use don. You are not going to use a, and you are not going to use o. So the right answer is on. Le professeur est en class. Do you understand? Going to go. So question 2 goes like this. Mes amis, non? Mes fruits sont dash espace le panier. Now, hey, on, B, don, C, A, D, O. Now, first of all, you cannot say son ton panier, because on, you use it with means of transportation, or you use on with means of transportation. That is transport, T for transport. Yes, you use on with means of transportation. So you also use on with feminine countries. And when we're talking about le panier, so we use on with means of transportation. We use on with feminine countries. And when we're talking about le panier in this sense means basket. basket. This lo panier actually means basket. You understand? So we are not talking about lo panier means basket. So actually we cannot use a because we are lo panier. It means basket. It is not a town and it is not a city. It is not a neighborhood. Do you understand? Now, oh, oh, you cannot use oh. Le panier is not a masculine country. So the only thing we can use here is on. Mes fruits sont on. Sont done. The only thing we can use here is done. Sorry. The only thing we can use here is done. We cannot use on. We cannot use a. We cannot use o. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. So the main answer we are using here is done. So mes fruits sont dans le panier. My fruits are in the basket. My fruits are in the basket. Alright, that will be the end of our lesson for today. Please don't forget to subscribe. So don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like. Please make sure you like this lesson. Please do more like this lesson, and not only to like, please, after like, please make sure you share. Please let us share this message. Let me put it in capital letters so that you can see that it's very, very important. It's very, very important for us to like. Please like this lesson and share this lesson, and at the end of the day make sure you download your lesson, download this lesson, and make sure you also subscribe so that you'll be notified anytime that a new